Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to City Skylines. Now, first thing I want to do is apologise for the audio issues with the last couple of episodes. I was trying to get stuff done in preparation for my holiday and I didn't actually realise that the music in the game was so loud and drowned out my voice. So apologies for the low quality of the last couple of episodes. I'm hoping it's going to be changed and much better in this one. So today we've got a couple of things that we want to do. We're going to upgrade our power because we've now unlocked the Solar Updraft plant, and we're going to be doing that first and foremost for this episode. It's going to allow us to remove all of our current wind turbines, and we're going to be able to have a nice green source of energy right in our city, which is really good. Then we're going to build a small residential district right here in our timber district that should move the workforce out to that area and will also help us achieve our next objective of a population of 17,000. So let's dive into it and we'll continue developing as I look to continue to expand our road network in the next episode. So let's jump in. So the first thing I'm going to do is buy our Solar Updraft plant. Now it's a really good and energy efficient turbine that costs 90,000 to put in, but it gives us an output of 240 megawatts. Now currently our electricity consumption is 232 megawatts. So with a solar updraft tower and our garbage incinerators, that really puts us in a good position. So that now goes in and then we can start demolishing all of these turbines. Once these are gone, we can start work on our brand new residential district, which is quite exciting because we have had our Aspen Park develop quite significantly to the point where I think it's a little bit too big for what we've got going on here. So we need to move some residential areas somewhere else. So by demolishing all of these, we kind of open up a new avenue and also clear the way for when I finally move this road network all the way down here to join up with this area here. This is now redundant, so we can start getting rid of all of these power lines here. We're going to link them up pretty simply across the waterway instead of having them go all the way along the back here. And once again, that just gives us a little bit more space to develop things further in this area. We also don't actually need these pylons going across here because the network kind of extends pretty nicely that way, which is really good. So the next thing is going to be moving our power lines all the way across to the main residential district right here, which will continue the flow of power going through. Now we already have some power connected here, which is really useful for us, and we can then action that and watch as our electricity consumption changes very slightly. Our production drops to 433 and we manage to hook everything up right through here. Slight blackouts, but everything kicks back into life and we are good to go, which is really nice. Excellent. Okay, so the next step, as I mentioned, was to begin building our new residential area, which is going to be here at the back of Cypress Timber Processing. Now, the one thing I do want to make aware of is the fact that there's some nice fertile ground here. So what we could do is we could start building a new farmland district, which will then continue to service these areas here. Because when I finally buy this land here, we're going to put in a cargo train terminal here and move the railway lines so it all matches up pretty nicely. We're then going to have this road continue all the way down to match up with the highway there. We might make some adjustments, but it all lies with us getting this area unlocked so we can adjust the train, tracks and road network accordingly. So that's why we need to push our population further, which means I'm going to build a brand new residential district just down here. We're going to want to continue our bus line going all the way down, and we're going to try and keep it at a good angle. So we'll have that run all the way along here to this little area there and back round to here. Now, it's not amazing. It's not going to be a really good road network. It's going to be pretty boxy, but I think it's going to help us out in the long run anyway. Now, what we want to do is we want to just get our basic roads back in here. We'll line them with trees, I guess, or maybe we could just have the median. A treed median might be a good shout, actually. So we'll try to avoid having anything here. We might even put like a little row of commercial down this area, just so we can facilitate the new customers that are going to be arriving here. So that sounds like a plan. We'll run this all the way down on a straight road, making sure that there's a little gap in between so we can put in some trees and stuff. That works pretty nicely. And again, we want to run all the way down here with this next set of roads and then coming back up, leaving that one gap in between everything. And we just make some nice brand new streets for our residential areas. Cool. Okay, that goes in, and then we bring our paint tool into play, and we're going to go with some low density commercial all the way around here. That might increase the traffic to this part of the city, which means we might need to adjust some traffic issues in this area here. But we can then put in some low density residential all the way around here, and then right in the middle we'll put some slightly higher residential areas to really finish this one off. And I think that looks pretty nice. And then maybe, actually, rather than having more residential there, we'll cut across here. Right the way across. Oh, not that way. That's not very good. And I like the trees. I like to keep these in, so it might not be the best way to go about things, but I quite like them in. We'll de-zone all of this, because what we can then do is start putting in some amenities on this section so that citizens have a little bit more access to stuff to do. You can see new residents are already moving in, and if we get our population up to, I think it's 17,000, we'll unlock our new areas. We can get a liberal arts college campus area. We'll get visiting scholars, and we can start building some new campus buildings. We'll also unlock our crematorium, which is going to be very useful because we have some issues already with our graveyards starting to fill up. You can see there we have 2,224 deceased stored there out of 3,000. So we are going to need to think about getting a crematorium sorted very quickly. So let's speed things up, and hopefully we'll hit our 17,000 milestone very quickly. You can see the power issue is there, but once we get some connected buildings, I'm not going to add in power lines. They're going to have to work and build towards it. There we go. We are hooked up and we have power. Now, the demand for residential has dropped a little bit, and it might be time to start building our new industry in this area as well. This is a little bit of an issue. It's causing some snarl ups. You can see the traffic is not looking good in that area there, which means we could do with moving some of these buildings just to create a little bit of a better traffic movement through this area here. This firehouse is the first thing I'm going to relocate. We're going to bring it down to this area here just to help us out. And that leaves that intersection a little bit more open. The one problem is here, we don't like this. This is causing a lot of issues traffic-wise. We've got some intersections that are really close together, and doing that just kind of makes things go a little bit odd. So I want to try and, I might just delete that road there, force all of our traffic to go all the way back down here, and then that should help alleviate some of the stress that is on our road network, although it doesn't seem to have helped at all. But what I will do is I'll drop a duplication down there, and then we'll bring a little road in there so that anyone visiting those areas can come back through here. What we could do is move some more stuff and have this road continue on all the way through so that people are able to go all the way down here, and just add in a little bit more of a sustainable road network, because this is slightly concerning at this moment in time. But you can see we're at 15,000 population, which is really good. Hopefully this will all start to increase very quickly, and we can start working on our new residential area. So I'm going to have to wait until it becomes a new day, but we will come back and improve things a little bit. But before we do that, I'm going to get some academic works put in place. We're going to go with IT and engineering rather than artisanry. We're going to give a research grant for that because we want to continue pushing our campus level here. You can see our expenses are a little bit higher than our tuition fees, and our student capacity is just under. Now, I did get a very good tip from Anna to add in some more dormitories because they will improve the attractiveness of the campus. So we're going to put another trade school dormitory in. If I can just find it. There we go, a trade school dormitory, and we'll pop it right on the corner there. And that boosts the attractiveness of our campus to 280. It wasn't already at 280, but we do need more room for students anyway, so that starts to fill up immediately, which improves our students on campus and brings us in a little bit more in terms of our rent, I guess, because you can see now our tuition fees are increasing. We're getting a little bit more money in from that, and our student capacity has also increased. So we get an academic work published this academic year, and we should improve our campus level yet again. Now, money is not an issue. We're doing pretty well. Population is increasing very nicely. We are going to need to start putting in some amenities in this area here. So the first step is going to be a brand new fire station. Actually, no, not a fire station. We put a small medical clinic in this area here, and that will allow our residents to get some nice medical care. We'll also put in a education area. We'll put in a small elementary school on the corner, and then we'll add in a high school. Oh, we can't fit one in. Can we fit one in there? No, we can't. What about what's the other alternative building? It is the Institute of Creative Arts, which will fit in quite nicely there. Excellent. Right, so we've got some education that can start happening there, and then we better put in something to make this place look nice. So we'll put in a couple of parks, one right next to the elementary school, and then we'll put a nice little park next to the Institute of Academic Arts. And I guess we can put in a couple of tennis courts. We'll put one right next to the clinic there. And we'll put a little car park in right next to the clinic as well. Excellent. Right, so we've got some nice new population coming in. Our income is up pretty high. The next step is to actually build our new farm district. Now, these buildings are going to need to move a little bit because we've got a few issues that don't look great. So I've got a small log yard here, which we're going to relocate over to this area here. And we're going to try and move the forestry stuff all over to this side. So our medium warehouse, which currently has paper stored in it, we're going to put here. And it's also going to mean we will need to put in a better road on this area. Now the slope here is a little bit too steep for our furniture manufacturer, so we're going to need to just make a couple of adjustments there, make sure it's in a better area. The biomass plant can go in here. It's not in the industry area, so we'll need to change the industry zone and just expand cypress timber processing to a larger space. That pulls it all the way down to here. We'll have it go all the way across here. Just bear in mind, though, that we do have to add a new industry area there as well. So water is not quite reaching our timber processor, so we'll pop in something to connect it up to the network. Again, we could definitely do with adjusting those things as well. This biomass pellet plant can now be relocated and hopefully go in a better location. There we go, that's good. And the pulp mill can go in there as well. Right there. We also have an engineered wood plant, which I think will fit in right there, but we will need to relocate this small fire watch tower, which we can actually just put right there. Now, our engineered wood plant is just going to go in, fitting in very nicely, and then over here we have that firehouse, which will hopefully, can it slot in here? No. What about here on the corner? Yes, it can. Excellent. Right, we'll pop that down there, and then that just gives us a little bit more freedom to move. The sawmill we can fit in down here, right in that little gap, and then another sawmill that we have secondary to this area is going to have to find a new home. Will it go this roadside? If I now delete this road here, because we don't actually need it, I can now move that sawmill right down here on the corner. Excellent. Right, okay, so that frees up that little road. And if we could maybe move a few different items, we'll be able to do something a little bit better. This small log yard, though, we might actually have to get rid of that. Unless I move the fire department. And what we could do is just change some of the road networks we've got going on there as well. But for now, I think that will do. We've got sawdust storage there as well, which we can relocate. We could put these just down this area here. And can I fit this in as well? Yes. Okay, so those storage yards look pretty good. We've got a medium warehouse here that's storing planed timber, which we'll put right here. Now, it is going to produce some noise pollution, so I kind of want to put it a little bit further away. We've got some very bad traffic starting to build up in that area, so that goes in there with the plain timber stored in, and we can now start working on our new farm district. This, incidentally, the actual district we've got here is probably going to need to change. The forestry area, we're going to need to make some adjustments to that. It's not working particularly well, but we do have a 5-star rating on it. It just doesn't seem to match very well with a lot of the ideas we have for the city. But needless to say, it's doing well, so I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. Next, we need a brand new industrial zone. So I'm going to paint a new industry area. That's just going to go here, eat into our area there, and then come back out to here. Now, you can also see some oil industry here. The problem is oil is finite in this game, and I don't really want to make any adjustments to that right now. So we will leave the oil production for the time being. We're going to de-zone that industry and just have it go to here. And then we'll expand our forestry a little bit so that it kind of backs out. And then we'll expand it further down, actually, because what I can do is I can expand the level of forestry that we've got here, and we can add in some new forestry district in this area if we want to adjust the timber region. And the Barlow region here, which is our new farm district, will kind of just carry on all the way along here. So we've got this nice square formed for this new piece of farmland. And the idea is we'll convert this area into a nice farming district, then we can demolish this and redevelop that once we're making enough money from it. So the next step then is to build our first farming industry. And what I want to do is I just want to move away from the bus line here, and we're going to go with some industrial roads. So if we just have a quick look here, what we can do is we can increase our industry traffic going through, and I think it's a medium road. No, it's not. It's just a standard road, I think. Basic road, and we want it to be a 2-way road, and it's a small industry. Do we have large industry road? A 4-lane industry road. It's small, but it can come right through this industrial district here. It will stay at a 90-degree angle, and then it will come off here and link up with the rest of the road there. That then gives us scope to do some nice extra industrial roads that kind of cut around here and make a little bit of a snarling circle. Snarling circle, that's not what I meant to say, but it works. And again, we'll bring this up to a nice 90-degree angle and have it curve around so that it matches that. And then we can start putting in some of our small farming areas. Over here, we'll have a nice little single road that kind of intersects this whole area and just matches up there. And then we'll do another one that matches up here. It doesn't look amazing, but it will do for now, and we can actually start putting in our new farming industry. So let's go to farm and put in the nice new first building here. We'll put it on the corner in this main area, maybe here. And that begins our new farming area. So we unlock small grain silos, small animal pastures, crop fields, fruit fields. So the first thing to do is to put in our crop fields, which will go nicely over here. And we'll just start adding these in all the way around this circle. And these should immediately start producing the produce that we need. Next, we want to go to our storage buildings, and we'll put in some grain silos all the way around here as well. And that will increase the amount of traffic here, but for now this will do, and we should start immediately producing the resources that we need to improve the production in our farming areas. So let's get rid of all of this, and we'll let things run a little bit further so that we can start producing some nice agricultural stuff for our city. Now, the Barlow agricultural area does need some water, so let's hook that up now, and that should immediately have us start producing stuff, which is really good. They also need power, so I will have to adjust the power lines as well and add in some brand new sources of power. Not the most efficient way of getting water to us, but we now have something basic in place, and then we can just drag a power line into that area there and start hooking things up. The power is now running to the Barlow agricultural area, and you can see we are going to start producing, hopefully, some new stuff. We need to produce 500 units until our next level and have 150 workers, but that should not take long at all. You can see here we shouldn't be importing anything because we do have a nice agricultural zone here, and that will hopefully start improving our industrial areas. We only need 400 population basically to get to our next milestone, which will allow us to unlock our brand new tile here, and that is actually really exciting. Let's have a quick look at Aspen College. They should be almost at the end of the academic year, And we just need one more academic work. How are we doing in our sports? 1, 2, lost 3, so we could do with improving that a little bit. But right now, okay, our expenses are not as large as our tuition fees, which means we can actually bring in a varsity coach. That should improve our win-loss rate, and we'll also pay some cheerleaders to help improve our varsity sports attractiveness. Hopefully that won't impact our expenses too much. It doesn't seem to have done a great deal of damage, but that coach should start having us win a few more matches in our aquatic centre. We lost our last match, which isn't great, but hopefully we'll start picking up some wins now that we've got a coach in. Incidentally, the actual amount of money we're making is pretty good, so there's not a great deal of worry there. But at the moment, we're importing quite a bit in terms of our products here. But we can't actually, we need to just produce some more stuff. It might well be that the actual coverage of the agricultural area here isn't amazing. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but this looks like oil here. So we could start working on oil industry, but I'm not quite sure. It does say that there's 13,343 units of oil available, but it also says there's plenty of fertile land here, so it might well be that this doesn't actually work out for us. We are importing quite a lot, so it's not ideal. It's seeds that we're importing, but if we can turn a profit from this district anyway, we could also kind of expand it and have it over here, because that is very fertile. This all looks like oil to me. So it could well be that we start a small oil pumping district right there. But given that it doesn't look like a great deal of oil, it might not be a good idea, because eventually those oil pumps will run out. However, we're doing pretty well. And I'm quite happy with how things are expanding here. You can see here we've got a nice student capacity. And once we get a new academic work published, we should be able to get that research grant done. We could hire a new academic staff member, which does make our expenses quite large in comparison to our tuition fees. But given that we're bringing in quite a bit of money from other stuff, I don't see that being a great deal of trouble to us. So you can see here we now have enough workers to improve our level. We just need to produce some more resources. But with our imports, we're not doing great with that. So we're going to need to kind of have a look at other means of stuff. Hopefully we can get some better garbage collection. And I have just seen if we actually just duplicate this and run this road all the way into that area there, that should help our traffic issues, but it is starting to really snarl, which is increasing the desperation and the need to get this plot of land unlocked so we can sort out the road network going all the way through. Once that's done, we're going to start putting in some toll roads to try and force most of our traffic to use our new rail cargo terminals, if at all possible. That's the plan. We have a nice area here, like I said, that we could start zoning for more agricultural or forestry district. I'm starting to think that it might be better if we just extend the agricultural district all the way along here and make this the entire area. You can see though we are starting to produce things, but again our own production is heavily outweighed by our importing, which isn't great. We aren't producing a great deal of crops, we are storing stuff, but I think having that much grain silo in there is like making us import stuff rather than grow our own. I don't know if that's correct, but yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with industries. I'm learning as I go. But the aim is to start, if this starts to turn a profit for us, we can then demolish this district and rebuild that as a brand new farming district. It would mean redeveloping this entire bit here, but I think that's absolutely fine. I'm not too worried. The money's looking really good, so yeah, it's pretty good going at the moment. Okay, so our academic year report has come in. We've got another academic work. Our campus attractiveness is up. We have now achieved a brand new reputation level of recognised. We have a nice level bonus. Our tuition fee goes up by 7 per student, and our exchange student bonus is now 4%. We've unlocked more trade school stuff, the cafeteria, the fountain, the gymnasium, and the outdoor study area, which is really cool. And we have developed a new academic work for a plant moisture monitoring system, which is a response to an increased need for an automated and affordable moisturizing system for plants available for those who travel a lot. Toga party. The partying spilled into the streets outside the campus area, but luckily there wasn't too much property damage. Okay, we had a toga party. Amazing. But yes, this is really good because now we need an attractiveness level of 450 to continue improving, and we need 2 academic works. Let's have a quick look at our varsity sports team. We seem to have... yeah, we've gained a few bonuses there. We do have a trophy, and we still haven't played our Canmount Buccaneers. But there we go, we're now a big city, and we've gained a level 2 farm, which means we can start producing flour and a few other items. I'm not sure what happened though, but we've immediately lost some population despite hitting our next objective. So we're going to have to work out a few things here. Traffic is a major issue in this area, and we might want to extend our highway to try and address that issue. One thing I do need to have a look at though is we have policies here for the education boost and heavy traffic ban and the fishing license, which is good. We might need to do something else to improve this area, but for now, that's not too bad. We kind of need to do the same over here in this new residential area, so that's something that we're going to look at. But as we have now unlocked a new zone, we're going to unlock this tile here, and then we're going to do a little bit of development on our new road networks. So I'm going to jump ahead because this could get quite frustrating and tedious, but what I'm going to try and do is link up this rail network so it goes straight across here. I'm then going to try and do the same with the road network and have our main highway that is running through match up somewhere along here and potentially give a new area to this district and allow vehicles to gain access to the highway over here. So I'm going to jump ahead, we're going to do that, and then we're going to close out the episode and finish everything off and wrap it all up. Okay, so we have developed this road network. It's not good though. We need to make some adjustments, which might mean we're going to have to redesign our timber processing area. You can see here the traffic is insane. That's because a lot of our trucks are now going to the cargo train terminal to drop off. We are exporting quite a bit of goods now, which is really nice to see. Our Barlow agricultural area is still only at 2 stars and still importing a lot more than it's making, but it is starting to dip out and improve a little bit, which is really good to see. You can now see we have a nice motorway that runs all the way through with this weird looking intersection that moves traffic through into the city. They do have to go to a toll booth though, which is really useful. That's going to start bringing in a little bit of income through trucks and stuff going in and out of the city, and then the same goes right the way through here. So anyone coming in now has to pay a toll to get through. That should start helping our traffic ease through here. Now, the one thing I might do is change all of this road network to non-bus lane, and rather than having buses go over here, we'll have the buses mainly concentrate on getting our citizens to a transport hub in the central area. We'll then have a metro system take them to the university and the park and these new areas for industry. I do need to look at things though and improve things, but you can see here we are now making a lot of money per week. The income is coming up pretty nicely, which is really good to see. If we go over to our college, we can have a look at our academic works. We're going to get another one for IT and engineering, and then we are going to have a look at our attractiveness, which needs to go up. But as long as it doesn't drop below a certain level, we'll continue to remain at a recognised level. At our academic works, we've got 6 academic staff on campus, which is good. And varsity sports, we have won 1 and lost 3, which isn't great. But we did win our last swim meet, which is really good. That brought in a lot of income, which is why we increased our income that large amount there. Aspen Park continues to get visitors, which is really nice. That's bringing in quite a little bit of money, but we are going to increase the ticket price to around about 15. And then you can see our policies are right there, which is really good to see. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good. We've got $1 million in the bank now, and traffic's moving pretty well through the heart of our city. But this industrial area has a lot to answer for. So I'm going to leave it there, and we will see you all next time on Cities Skylines. I hope this has been a good episode, but I think it might need a few adjustments in the next visit here. You can see there's a lot of snarling roads, so I might spend a little bit of time working this all out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.